Hello, everybody. I am Debbie Danford from craftyyourcreations.blogspot.com. And today I am here with my Stampin' Buddy, Tracie Evans Langley.
Hi.
And we are partners also in the East Meets West Creativity Kit. And this week, what we decided to do, and this will be our second time doing this, we kind of do it once a quarter. We are doing a video series. So on Monday and Wednesday, you'll see videos from me, and on Tuesday and Thursday, you'll see videos from Tracie. And I am going to go ahead and spotlight my hands here, and then I'm going to show you what this week is going to bring you. Before I do that, I'm going to go through everything just a little bit.
And Debbie, what are we calling this?
Oh, that's right. We are calling this the Get in Gear series. So does that give you a clue of what we are going to be using?
Hmm.
You guessed it. We are going to be using the Gears and Textures bundle. And what we can also tell you is this bundle is carrying over into the new catalog that will be coming out in May. Yay, we're excited about
Yay.
that.
We are. It's a great set.
It is awesome to play with. Um, and my monthly club people actually voted on this one, and I had to tell them that I'm not doing all the die cutting this time because there is a lot of stuff that you can die cut with this one. Because I thought there's no way I can die cut all those things for everybody for two projects of each. But just to show you what is in this bundle, so here's the stamp set. And I could open this up and show you, but most of them are mounted on blocks right now because we will be using them. So just to give you an idea, you've got lots of black background splattery things, um, a light bulb, which you would think I would have used the light bulb, and I have not used it yet. My husband's an electrician,
I
so
have
we,
not used that one either.
but and I was thinking that the other day, I thought I haven't used the light bulb. That's kind of silly of me, but I haven't. Maybe it's because it's part of our life so much it doesn't bother. I don't know. Anyway, so there's a lot of great like I like a lot of these backgroundy ones because I feel like you can use those in any of your other projects. It doesn't
I
have to
agree.
just be with this bundle when you use it. And then to just show you what the dies look like, which these are awesome.
They are so awesome.
Again, here's the little light bulb ones, and we've got lots of little circles, and some of these cut out too. Like this particular one will cut out two different circles. Not that
You
one. I
can
think
layer
it's
that
this
one with the
one.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all these things can layer upon layer upon layer any different ways you want to do it. And then you've got lots of strips here that you can use, and these two can layer upon each other like this too, in case you didn't know that.
I did not even think of that. Aren't you
I found that
clever?
out yesterday when I was designing one of the cards for my monthly club. I layered these on
Look
top
at
of each
you.
other, and actually they work really nice together. And of course, this reminds me of a ladder myself, but anyway.
Hmm.
So that's all the dies that come with it. So what we're doing all of this week, if you place an order anytime between Monday, April 13th through the 20th, a minimum $35 order, you will get the 4 card packets that we're going to be showing you all this week. If you go over up to $75, and this is all before shipping tax, and if you use any Stampin' Rewards, then you will get a half a pack of these little beauties here,
Ugh,
the
love.
Metallic Texture Rub-Ons. And right now they are on the last chance list, but they are still available. But these are like awesome. I feel like we found them too late in the catalog. And I'm sorry
I
if you
know.
hear my little puppy barking. That's Jasper. You will get 4 sheets, so it's a half a pack because each pack has 2 of each design. So as you can see, I've chopped and cut and used many of these already. So, but you will, if you, like I said, if you go over the $75 before shipping and tax, then you'll also get a half a pack of the metallic rub-ons. And that would also put you in line to get the product of the month, which is, I wish I could show it to you, but when I placed my first order, I forgot to add it on
Oh
of all
no.
people. And it tells you right there, but because that reader bar is always up there for me, I kind of ignored it when I put my order in. And then I realized I had forgot to add the product of the month. So it is in the picking stage right now, but I would show you that too if I had it. But maybe Tracie has hers when she does her videos, but I do not have it yet. So
But it is a
um,
really cool die.
yes, it is. It's awesome. I can't wait to play with it.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started with project one. Now, this is the Monday project. If you're watching these at a later time, this was the first one we did. This will be Mondays. And this is the one I came up
Love
with.
it.
Now, I did not create this little layout. I saw it someplace else and then I put Debbie's little spin on it. But, and then here's like the little, we added little extra of the rub-ons on here. And then just a lot of stuff, a lot of stamping and blending is what goes on here. And then in this particular one, I used a piece of the Nature Walk Designer Series paper. So the ink pads you will need for this one, the colors, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, and Crumb Cake is what I used here. And then I do have a couple blending brushes out. And that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'll go through what we have here. We have an Old Olive piece that's 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And I'm going to just set that aside for right now because we don't really need it right now. Then we have a piece of crumb cake that's 4 by 5.25. That is going to be that first layer right here. We're going to also set that piece aside. And then this is also 4 by 5.25, a piece of basic white. This is for our inside. And I did stamp on the inside here too. And then this piece here, and let me measure it again, 2.5 by 4. And this is going to be the piece that we're going to stamp on right here. And then we're going to kind of turn it at an angle and cut it. And then we have a piece of the Nature Walk Designer Series paper that's 3.5 by 4.75. That's going to layer on top of our crumb cake. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and then I have a bunch of die cuts. I have a couple scrap pieces for our greeting, and I used the banner sayings greeting there, and I pulled out here's to you for today's. And then I just did the tearing technique on there, but we'll get to that closer to the end. And then here's our little die cut pieces. This one does not have as many as some of the others. And you will want to come back to watch all of these because we have a surprise at the end of what you can actually do with these to make them spin. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in, and yes, this is the scrap piece I've been using, as you can tell. Now, there is no right, wrong, or you can pick any of these little parts and pieces. And I'm kind of looking at what I did here, but it's not good. It is not going to look the same as this one. It never does. Anytime you do like a background like this. So this is pretty much all of the fun stuff to play with. I do have this really tiny one that I mounted, but I didn't find I used it as much. I like all the other ones a little bit better, but of course, feel free to use any of the ones you want to. What I like to do, and I'm going to move this card out of my way because I'm going to line up. When you have this many things going on, you want to make sure you line up your colors. And then when you start stamping, I line it up, my stamps in row of what I just stamped with it. So I don't pick it up and then go from actually, in any of these colors, it probably wouldn't matter as much, but like you don't go from Mossy Meadow to Old Olive because then it might darken it a little bit. These aren't as bad as if you had a really light color out here.
Right.
All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to start with this one here. And I just randomly am going to stamp, and you can stamp first, second, third generation, however many times you want. And of course, you can ink it back up as many times as you want. And I kind of just go around it, and I'm even going to slap one right there in the middle because once you start building, you're like, oh, this doesn't look very good. But once you keep going, it'll start making sense as you go. Now I'm going to move to the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to do the little splatter one here.
Debbie, it's kind of like when you're stamping, random stamping, even like flowers, it's the same thing. You know, you get to that
Exactly.
point where you look at it and you go, oh, I'm not sure.
Exactly.
But you
And
just
you
got
know,
to
the
keep
nice
going.
thing about this is this set is it would make a great one sheet wonder because you could just
Oh,
take
yeah.
that whole sheet and you could just stamp away and uh, I don't know. I haven't done it yet only because I did a one sheet wonder last month with my monthly club because I thought of that right away. I thought, oh, this would be a really good one sheet wonder one. But I did it last month and I didn't want to repeat the same, even though it would be different. Now, I tend to stamp in odd numbers, so you'll see me doing 3 to 5 at a time. It's just how I operate. You don't have to do it that way. There's no right or wrong to it. And like I said, I'm just picking, these may not be the same colors I used when I did the original card for each one of these. I'm just kind of picking as I go and deciding what color I want to use. I just find this really fun when you're just
Mhm.
creating a random background like this.
Yeah.
There's that one. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's pull in this little circle. We're just going to plop that right there. A little bit over there. And then we have this little splatter one, and we'll do Old Olive with that one. Now, if you don't want to fill this piece in all the way, you don't have to. Whoops. You can keep some of it white if you want. You can do it however you want. Uh, let's
You could
see. I
even
think I'm
emboss
gonna.
it once you stamped it.
What's that?
You could even emboss it once you stamp it.
You could. Okay. I think
I love it.
I'm liking what I see here. So I think I'm going to stop and not get it too much more. But I am going to bring in the Old Olive blending brush and I just put a little bit of ink on there and I'm starting off the edge and I am going to go around the whole thing here. Because if you look at this sample, you really can hardly tell it was white when I started because I did go over it just a little bit and I kind of blended a little bit on the inside. And then I did go back around the edges with the Mossy Meadow just to kind of darken the edges up just a little bit. Okay. So before we close everything up, let's go ahead and stamp our inside a little bit here. And then we'll get some of this stuff out of the way. So I'm just going to bring this in here and I'm going to kind of stamp one. I stamped in both corners this time. I don't always do that, but I thought I liked it this time.
Yeah, I like it that way. That's cool.
Yeah. Use some of the little arrows here. There's that. And let's see. All right, that's probably plenty going on here. And then we're going to do the same thing. So I like to go around the edges and soften it up when I stamp on the inside too. Now you don't have to do this part. This is just something I like to do. Kind of finishes off your card. And of course, if you're one of those that likes to decorate your envelope too, this is a great time to do that. I don't usually do that part right now, but I know people that do. Okay, so there's our inside. Looks pretty enough to be on the outside. Let's see, one more thing. That way we can close up our stamping. Is I'm going to stamp our greeting here and I'm going to stamp it in Mossy Meadow. This looked like it was a little crooked. And then I just did the tearing on the sides, just like that. And then we're going to add a little ink I did the direct to paper technique and I just dipped the edges around, but then I'm going to go over it with the blending brush too, just to soften this white piece just a little bit. I didn't want it to be that stark white. And we're going to do the same thing here, and I'm just going to tear this. And then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to dip this. I'm just going to go around it just a little bit. Okay, so there, that should be all our stamping for this one. And now we can just do some assembly. So then this will go on top like that. Okay, let's close these up, get them out of our way. Because otherwise, you know what'll happen. I'll drop something in it. Okay, now we can just do our assembly. You will also be getting, which I forgot to tell you this part, you'll get we use the adhesive backed metallic gems. So you'll get those in your card packets. You'll get however many we put on. Usually I go with 3 depending on the card, but okay, so what we're going to do is attach this to here. I like to use the Stamp and Seal Plus, but you can use whatever you want. And if you're a fan of Stamp and Seal Plus, um, stock up now. The price is going up in the new catalog. So I would highly recommend just stocking up on a few at least. So that goes there. Then what we're going to do is this. Oh, and Debbie already messed up. Well, let's see if this is going to work. Because you want to trim this. So don't attach your DSP first, like Debbie just did.
Is that pulling a Debbie?
That's pulling a Debbie. Yeah, don't do this. And when I do videos, if you've ever watched any of my other videos, if I make a mistake, I don't edit it out. You get to see the mistake when it gets made, and then I usually will put a little blip in there that might say, "Don't do what I just did," because we make mistakes too. So I'm going to lay this down on my silicone mat so that it doesn't stick to my glass mat. Because then what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this on here like this. And I'm going to go ahead and attach it and then we'll trim it.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Yeah. Well, normally I wouldn't be worrying about the other piece being sticky already, but
Well,
we had a little faux pas there. So then this is going to go like this. And like I said, you can turn it at whatever, angle you want. I'm just going a slight angle right there. And then we're also going to bring in our little ladders. And one's going to go up here. And one will go down here like this. And all I did is I literally used the mono glue and I just put little dab. Watch now, it won't come out today. This glue bottle has given me so many problems. I know there's glue in it, but sometimes it just doesn't want to. There we go.
now you have me checking mine.
Well, and sometimes I have to just poke a needle in it to get it to like release, I guess. I don't know. I've cleaned it out. I don't know what it is, but I know there's glue in it, so I just keep using it.
Maybe it's just the weather.
And that could be. Okay. There's one. And I'm just butting it up to that right there. And you see, I'm not really putting a whole lot of glue on here. I'm just dabbing it in a few little areas. And then this one will go right here. Just like that. Okay, then we will pick this up and I'm going to just turn it over. And I use longer scissors when I'm cutting like this, but I turn it over to the back side so you can kind of see where you need to trim everything off.
Oh, I would have totally gotten the paper trimmer out.
The only reason I didn't is because I already have adhesive on here and I didn't want it sticking all over the place. I have done that before too, and even with glue or adhesive on it, and I've used the trimmer. But yeah,
I
usually I
wonder if
just,
you could lay your silicone mat on top of it before you put the guard down
oh,
when you do that.
maybe my luck,
I know
cut
I'd cut it too.
I'd cut a piece. That would be my luck. So this was the side I did put it down, but I'm going to flip it over. Not that it matters, but that whole side won't show at all. This one, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a little rip there. And then this is going to go on here. And of course, if you wanted to, you could pop this piece up with dimensionals. I didn't, but you certainly could. And if you notice, I like to work get all these little extra things off my desk. I like to work with my card base flat until I'm done. I find it so much easier. I started doing that. I don't know. It's been well over a year now since I started doing it. Now there are some fun folds and stuff that you can't do it that way, but for the most part, standard card bases, for me, it just makes it so much easier because you're not fighting with that fold that's trying to pop up when you're trying to put your layers on.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we're going to attach this to here. And then I already have two little pieces die cut here. And somewhere I lost the little tiny old olive
Oh
circle.
no.
Let me see. It's not the end of the world if we can't find it. Yeah, it's okay. Now you can either use glue or a glue dot here. I'm just going to put some dabs of glue around here. And plop that in the center. And then I did pop this up with dimensionals. We're not going to worry about that little tiny piece I'm missing.
You'll find it when you're cleaning up today.
Probably. And then let's see, I think we're going to kind of go like this. So I'm just going to put this one right here like that. And then I popped these up also. I guess I need a new, oh, here it is. I was going to say, I remembered seeing a sheet. I had already started. So, and take your pick tool. Here it is. All right. And we're just going to plop this about right there. Here's to you. And I'll put that. Now, the thing about some of these cards with this specific bundle, you may not be mailing some of them. Keep that in mind because, like I said, there's some surprises to come at the end of the week with what we're going to make. And it does make it pop up a little more. Here it is. Now, last but not least, and you could do this at any given time. You can do it before, after. Um, I'm going to cut these little ones right here because they'll be easier to, and these are so easy to use. You literally just lay them down. I just use my finger. Is that what you use, Tracy? Now you could use your bone folder if you
I
wanted to.
used my bone folder because I used some larger ones than you did. And then on one of my projects, I embossed first. So I did use the bone folder. But yeah, it says on the packaging that you can use your finger. So
Yeah, it works really easy. So let's
yeah,
cut.
I never dreamed that these would be this easy. And they really do add a lot. I wish we had discovered them earlier in the year.
I know, I do too. I feel like we
Missed
missed
the
the
boat.
boat. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because they sorry, I dropped it on the floor and now it has dog hair on the back.
Oh well, the extra it's extra little
You'll
special.
get a little extra something of Jasper. He's sharing his love. Okay, there's that one. Let's see. I'm gonna cut. And see, one time when I was rubbing, I accidentally had the leaf and I ended up, anyway, long story, but you don't need to hear those details as to why I messed up that one. I'm going to cut a little bit of this one off here too. And we'll just put a little bit more on here. And I'm going to move it around just a little bit. And let's put some right up here. Just randomly putting them wherever.
I do think it's cool that you can like if you wanted to use just a piece of one of them, you could cut the rub-on in half or just cut a little piece
Yeah, like I just did, because like
like
this
you
is
just
really
did.
a
I think
one
yeah,
big splatter, and I just cut a
yeah,
piece of it off. And I did the
yeah,
same thing when I used like some of these other ones. Now I
yeah,
haven't really used this or the leaves yet, but I've
yeah,
used like all the splattery type because I think they go quite well with this
yeah. I
bundle.
agree.
And you could add some to the inside of the card if you wanted to. I didn't think of that till just now, actually.
Oh, now you're getting crazy.
I know. All right. And then we'll just burnish this really good. And there we go. This was my original, and here's the one we just did today. See, a little bit different on the little splattery stuff, but just to bring it in so you can see what's going
You,
on here.
did you change your card base color?
Yes, I did. So this was Mossy Meadow. This one's Old Olive. Thank you for pointing that out.
So it will be a surprise which color you'll get.
It will be a surprise. Well, actually, it won't be a surprise because I've already pre-cut some of my packets,
Look
so you're
at
going to get Old
you.
Olive. But
Okay.
unless you really want Mossy Meadow and you tell me that in the post, then you will get Mossy Meadow. But yes, you are correct.
So
Look at me
Debbie,
go.
tell them again how they can get these card kits
Okay.
for free.
So, like I said, you're going to get 4 videos this week that are going to be in a series. You don't have to watch them in the series. If you watched number 3 first, it's not going to matter. But if you want to get all 4 packets that you're going to see, 2 designed from me, 2 designed from Tracy, you can place a $35 order and then you will get all the supplies to make everything that you see here. And yes, we will include the die cuts and all of that kind of stuff. You will not get the rub-ons unless you go to $75. And then if you go to $75, you will also be eligible to get the product of the month. But then we will send you a half a pack of the metallic rub-ons. And that's for 2 of each. You get 2 golds, 2 silvers of both, 1 of each pattern, basically. So you get 4 sheets. So, and
But you're
these
gonna
can be
love them, so
used.
you probably want to add a pack to your order.
Yes, you probably do because like we said, they are on last chance. They could be here today, gone tomorrow, or they could be out there for a few weeks. You never know on last chance. So thank you so much for joining us today. I truly appreciate it. And come back again tomorrow and see what we have for you. Bye, guys.
Bye.